What if I told you that a man who walked away from a fortune equivalent to billions of dollars today discovered three simple principles that could transform your relationship with stress forever? Siddhartha Gautama, who we know as Buddha, was born into unimaginable wealth as a prince in ancient India. Yet he abandoned palace walls, servants, and endless luxury to sit under a tree and figure out why humans suffer. What he discovered 20,500 years ago is now being validated by modern neuroscience, and these insights can revolutionize how you handle everything from work pressure to daily overwhelm. The first game-changing lesson Buddha taught was what we call the Four Noble Truths. But let me show you how this applies to your Monday morning stress. Buddha realized that our suffering isn't caused by external events themselves, but by our resistance to them. Think about it. When your boss emails you at 9 p.m., it's not the email that creates your anxiety. It's your mental story about what that email means, your resistance to the boundary being crossed, your fear about implications for your workload. Steve Jobs actually embodied this principle throughout his career. When he was fired from Apple, the company he founded, he didn't waste energy fighting the reality of his situation. Instead, he used that information to launch Next and acquire Pixar, experiences that ultimately made him a better leader when he returned to Apple. Jobs treated his setback as data, not disaster. This is exactly what Buddha meant when he said suffering becomes our teacher when we stop fighting it. Here's how you apply this practically. Next time you face a stressful situation, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of, why is this happening to me? This mental shift transforms you from victim to student, and students learn, grow, and move forward while victims stay stuck. Let me repeat this because it's crucial for your growth. The moment you stop resisting reality and start learning from it, suffering becomes your greatest teacher. The second profound lesson is the middle way, Buddha's solution to our culture's obsession with extremes. Before his enlightenment, Buddha tried severe fasting and self-punishment, thinking suffering would lead to wisdom. He nearly died from malnutrition. Then he swung to the opposite extreme of indulgence. Neither worked. His breakthrough came when he realized that sustainable wisdom lives in the balanced center. This principle is revolutionary for modern decision-making. We're constantly told to hustle harder or find perfect work-life balance, but Buddha discovered that sustainable success comes from dynamic balance. Adjusting your approach based on what each situation requires. Warren Buffett exemplifies this perfectly. He's intensely focused during business hours, but maintains strict boundaries around family time and personal interests. He doesn't burn out because he understands that peak performance requires both intense effort and genuine recovery. The middle way means being fully present with whatever you're doing, working intensely when you work, resting completely when you rest. It's not about doing everything moderately. It's about doing the right thing with the right intensity at the right time. I want to emphasize this again because it's so misunderstood. The middle way isn't about compromise. It's about choosing the appropriate response for each unique moment. The third transformative insight is what Buddha called mindful awareness, and modern neuroscience proves why this matters for your success. Buddha discovered that our attention is like a muscle that gets stronger with training. He realized that most human suffering comes from our minds wandering into past regrets or future worries, missing the only moment where we actually have power, right now. Dr. Sarah Lazar at Harvard Medical School used brain imaging to prove that just 8 weeks of meditation practice literally grows the parts of your brain responsible for emotional regulation and decision-making. Meanwhile, it shrinks your amygdala, the brain's alarm system that triggers stress responses. This isn't mystical philosophy, it's measurable brain change. Here's a simple practice Buddha would recognize. Spend 3 minutes each morning paying complete attention to your breathing. Not trying to change it, just noticing it. When your mind wanders to your to-do list, and it will, gently bring attention back to your breath. This trains your brain to focus on what you can actually control instead of spinning on what you can't. Microsoft found that employees who practiced this simple technique for just 4 weeks showed measurable improvements in focus and job satisfaction. This practice rewires your brain to find calm in chaos exactly what Buddha discovered under that tree 2,500 years ago. And to reinforce this crucial point, daily mindfulness practice literally changes your brain structure to make you more resilient to stress. Buddha's insights weren't just philosophical theories, they were practical tools for navigating life's inevitable challenges. The Four Noble Truths teach us to learn from difficulty instead of fighting it. The middle way shows us how to find sustainable balance in an extreme world. Mindful awareness trains our attention to stay present with what we can actually control. These aren't ancient relics, they're scientifically backed strategies for thriving in our modern world. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next video.